So I just bought this Banshee. This thing has a story on it. I bought a Suzuki LTR 250 from this guy maybe about, I don't know, 6 months ago, something like that. Which he told me he had this Banshee too. At the time, tried to make a deal on it. Nothing really happened. And then finally he kind of just out of the blue reached out and said he was looking to sell it. So I ended up buying it. So this thing, I paid $3,000 for it, which it kind of looks like crap right now, but it did come with a bunch of stuff. I believe it runs. From what I've been told is that it ran last fall, and basically he took the plastics off of it to diagnose a CDI issue, which it's got a new CDI hanging there for it, but it also came with a bunch of new plastics and stuff. These are all the original plastics for it. It also came with a couple boxes of parts, but actually some of this stuff is Suzuki 250R stuff. There's like some engine cases, I don't know, all sorts of junk pretty much. But basically, from pull apart 250R Suzuki motors, looks like this is all Banshee stuff. Looks like a twist, or the original thumb throttle, the Taurus system, another CDI, wheel bearings, set of paddles with it. Like those are the Nerf bars, some other stuff. But we've got some brand new OEM plastic. So I guess he bought some brand new ones, a good few years ago, and always with the intention of kind of really fixing this thing up. Never did anything with it. So we've got all new plastics for it. So in theory, we should be able to make this thing look pretty good. So I think first thing is we'll try to get it started up, see what it does, and go from there. So a little first inspection on this. Looks like we've got some Toomey T5 pipes on this thing. Looks like it's got a cool head, V-force reeds, no airbox, just pod filters. Feels like it's got good compression. Some weird LED headlights, tow rope for when it breaks down. And Nerf bars missing on this side. Looks like this cover is just loose at the moment. Got a bunch of random wires kind of floating everywhere. Yeah, we'll need to address. Looks like we wired in a little aftermarket headlight or tail light and stuff. But overall, it seems to be complete. It's got a twist throttle on it, which I don't like. Definitely gonna put the thumb throttle back on there. Feels like we've got front brakes. We don't have any rear brakes. We'll have to adjust that, probably do a little bleeding, but let's see if it'll fire up. It appears to have a little bit of gas in it. Gas needs shut off. We'll put this thing to reserve, pull this choke. We'll give it some kicks here, see what it does. Kind of weird. Little foot bag over here. I'll turn my key on too. Okay, that was too easy. Alright, I expected more kicks in that. Oh, it's even idling. Huh. It goes in gear here. First gear. Oh, let's see, we got any headlights? No headlights. Oh, I guess it helps they're hooked up. Okay. Well, I think maybe I'll just kind of clean this thing up here a little bit. And then we can maybe kind of throw some plastics on it, put it together, and see if it'll drive. Well, it seemed to clean up pretty good. Got all the kind of scaling and stuff off of the frame and everything, all the dirt and everything. So looking at the VIN on this one, it is 99. So I think the plan first is I'll probably put this foot bag and Nerf bar back on there, and then try to set some plastics on it. So it sucks. I've got all the pieces for this thing, but I don't have any hardware, like at all. I've got these boxes full of stuff, but I think pretty much in all this stuff is for Suzuki stuff. I didn't really see a box of hardware for this thing at all. So we'll kind of have to make that up as we go, unfortunately. That's the downside of inheriting somebody else's project. Got this side Nerf bar and foot peg back on. Also installed that new CDI back where it's supposed to be instead of just hanging there. So let's tackle some brakes on this thing. So it looks like it's got some fluid in the reservoir already, so we're just gonna crack this bleeder open here and then see if we can pump some fluid through it and see if that's all it needs. Give it a few pumps here and see what it does. Got nothing right now. So sometimes what I like to do is take this fitting off here a little loose and kind of prime this master cylinder to start with to get that fluid going. That'll do the trick. Well, I resorted to use my little vacuum pump here. I'm slowly getting some of the fluid to pull down. I pulled that, the back little bolt there off the back of the reservoir and pumped it and still got nothing to come out of the master cylinder there. It's kind of odd. I'm slowly getting some to pull out here when I pull some pretty good vacuum on it. Keep working it through and see if this thing will start building some pressure. So I ended up pulling the master cylinder off here thinking that, oh, maybe something was plugged in one of the little ports down in there and stuff, but I fully disassembled it and basically figured out the plunger down in there is completely stuck. So I thought I was actually actuating it, but I wasn't moving the thing at all. So let's get a new master cylinder for this thing. So at the moment, we're running without rear brakes. Well, I got it up on the lift here. I was going to address a few things. This wiring harness, like, it's all just kind of laying loose, and I definitely want to get this fastened up correctly so it's not just laying on the pipe and stuff. I believe some of these unused connectors are all for the Taurus system. These guys would have been for a headlight. So usually the black is ground, yellow and green are a high and a low beam. And our headlights here are just kind of laying loose. I think I'm going to wire these back in as well. It looks like the taillight's unhooked also. I was just kind of looking through here and I don't really see any sort of brake switch anymore. So I'm not sure if there's anything hooked up for the rear brakes. Also, let this gas on overnight and the petcock strip in. Might pop this open. Usually there's just like an O-ring seal inside here, and I think that's all it's leaking. So I might do that since I don't have another petcock to throw in it right now. We'll get some of this stuff cleaned back up and kind of addressed, and then start throwing some plastics on it. Well, I just started it back up after getting all my wiring stuff done. I've got a taillight working. No headlights though. I was measuring some voltage. It seemed kind of funny, but I just unplugged my stuff here and hooked this thing up to a battery, and I've got no headlight whatsoever on this one. So I've got some dead headlights, which, doing a little reading, basically these things. So yep, nothing on a good battery. So these things, they put out like a 12 volt AC voltage, which might have been the cause of burning these things out. Some people say that the LED lights work for a while and they don't. Looks like these things just came from Harbor Freight. I might just run over there and grab another set and see if we can get some headlights going on this thing. I just measured some voltage with the headlights unhooked back up, and so I'm getting like at idle 9-10 volts AC. Rev it up, I'm getting up to like 30-ish volts AC, which kind of makes me think that my voltage regulator isn't working here. And these things work exactly the same as the snowmobiles, and I've got a snowmobile voltage regulator here. So I'm gonna hook this thing in and see if that regulates that back down to like 12 volts-ish. So I think that's probably what's going on. It was overcharging, probably burnt up these headlights. Okay, we got it running here with the snowmobile voltage regulator on there. 9 volts at idle. 13.5. Okay, that was our issue there. So I'm gonna go pick up some new headlights and rewire this again. We got a little Harbor Freight special on this. Out with the old, in with the new. Kind of crazy, these things just bolt right in there. Like they were meant for it. Well, let's get these things installed and should have some lights this time. Oh, we got some headlights now. So this is what we've got for our new plastics, which the rears and the fronts The grill, we got some heel guards, which I don't have part of the heel guard to make those work. This one is actually one of the old ones I just cleaned up. This one I didn't seem to find in this lot of parts that I got. So I don't know if he didn't order this one or not, but this one cleaned up pretty good, so I think I'm gonna have to reuse this one, which isn't too bad. But I think we'll set some plastics on this thing and see what this thing starts to look like. Well, it looks pretty good on there. So just kind of first glance, I'm just gonna set some of these on here. Looks like I'm missing the little supports that kind of hold these fenders out, which I might have to find something for that because I don't want these plastics melting on the pipes. But other than that, basically just need to find a whole bunch of hardware for it. It's kind of unfortunate inheriting somebody else's project. I have no hardware for anything. I do kind of have some random kits and bolts though, so should be able to make everything kind of work on it though. Well, I've got everything kind of buttoned down. I found enough OEM looking hardware to attach everything. It's kind of a shame this tank cover is just a slightly different color, but I think it's gonna be okay. Once I put decals on it and stuff, it shouldn't be that noticeable, but everything else seems to look pretty good on it. I've actually ordered some decals for it, so I think I can put those things on next. Oh, it's looking pretty good. So one thing I'm going to tackle still is this seat just has some kind of grime on it. It's a little trick that works great. It was a magic eraser, especially for like, you know, if you get marks in plastics and stuff, a magic eraser just takes them out like crazy. So we'll use this with some water and some soap and see if we can get some of this kind of dirty grime scaling out of this seat and make it look a little newer. Well, now that the plastics are all on, let's put some decals on it. So I did not go to the original 99 color scheme and decal scheme because those decals are pretty boring. So these are the style from like the 2010 to 2012, kind of the Banshees that never made it to the US. I think they're pretty sweet, and this is what we're putting on there. I think they're gonna look pretty good. So let's jump right into it. Yeah, I think that looks pretty sweet. Got a few bubbles to work out, but I think this thing's gonna look pretty cool. Let's keep at it. Oh, this thing's looking pretty sharp. I'm kind of happy with this decals that I picked. Got a couple more to put on the back fenders and then a few more on this other side still, and I'll roll this thing out in the sun, really see what it looks like. Well, this thing is basically all done, minus rear brake, master cylinder, and then some supports for those front fenders, and putting that thumb throttle back on it. Overall, I really like the looks of this thing. Well, let's start it up here. Let's do the old, what everybody does on the internet, just kick it from the side. Oh, that's a good sound. Well, you're gonna have to follow along for the next video and actually see me riding this thing. I can give you a little teaser. It feels pretty good so far.